What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. It is the 21st day of December, and here we are sitting at about $580 right now with 6 hours, 26 minutes left in this day. And in this week, we're on the weekly time frame here, 6 hours, 26 minutes left. Shout out to all the Dragon Riders out there. Hit that like button, subscribe, guys. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about this here. Again, the thought that I have here is that it will become it is not completely obvious now, though I think it is, but maybe not to everybody is it obvious now that we're in the midst of a move that's going to take us up to our all-time high level. But I think as the weeks, as the months go on, we will look back at these weeks here as the beginning moments, right, of this movement higher. Just like here, from a low to a high, you moved up here, but the beginning moments were this week. It didn't feel like you were in the midst of a move up. Even here, it didn't feel like it, right? But only when we look back from the top can we see where we originated from. I think we're in that same kind of phase now. And it's obvious. To me, it seems obvious because we had this little consolidation phase here. We've broken out of it. We've even back tested it for support, finding support at prior areas of resistance and all that stuff. I mean, if we look at this from a low to a high point here, we back tested our 0.5. We literally found support right in the 0.5 golden ratio zone, which Bitcoin Cash loves to do. Oops, that's not how I would draw it. It would be right here. Well, right at the 0.5. So oftentimes it does like to find support just below the 0.5, but right there is good enough too. What about this high to low here? You found support between the 382, the 0.5, the 0.5 there. Very shallow retracements. And here we are at the 236 right now. Now, is this an area that we can expect to bounce off of? Do we go lower? I want to figure that out. I want to look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll go from there, okay? Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out. 1 hour, $581 here. Let's be on Coinbase. There's no reason why we should be on the crypto chart. I mean, Coinbase has the all-time history. This chart, anytime you look at whatever crypto, if you see this, that's almost always the all-time history. Not always, but almost always. But it's the same chart as the Coinbase chart. The only difference is Coinbase has volume. These crypto charts, they never have volume. That's just the trading view index. Looking at this here, $581 right now. A little bit of volume. It's the weekend. I'm not too surprised. It kind of seems as though we are in a ABC correction, and if we are, maybe we do have a little bit lower to go, and that's fine if we do. On that note, though, if we do have lower to go, from a low here to a high there, the expectation then would be, wait, is this the right low? This is the relative low. I might be missing something. Let's see. I mean, this is the relative low. We can go off of this. This fib will probably be respected. The expectation would be that we probably go just below the 0.5. Right? Very common for Bitcoin Cash. Not for most cryptos, but for Bitcoin Cash, it's very common to find support between the 0.5 and the golden ratio rather than at these specific levels. But we have seen support at these specific levels as well. So something between 572 and 559, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. Of course, we could turn around from here. A little bit of volume on this push down here. Bearish momentum is building on the MACD, stochastics look bad, and the RSI is bad enough. I mean, you've got a downtrend, and the thing is with these 1 hour downtrends, not just 1 hour time frames, but any time frame, when you have a downtrend in the RSI, they typically do end once you hit the oversold zone, but it's not uncommon to see bullish divergence, so a slight push lower would give us that bullish divergence, regardless of if this is the low. If we go just a little bit lower, I can't imagine that we have too much more to go, right? We're very, very near the low here. So much so that I would say, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, it's a great time to buy. I think it's a great time to buy right now. Any time that we're below $1,000 for Bitcoin Cash is a steal. And that will only get truer and truer as time goes on, my friends. Let alone below $600. But with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we dropped, about $10, maybe at the most from here, $20 or $25, $30, something like that. I don't know if we would go below 550, but I think we could get as low as 550. But at least 572 would be my expectation. And if I'm wrong and we just move up from here, great. I can be wrong. That's fine. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But again, MACD's building bearish momentum makes me think that we go lower. Stochastics suck, makes me think we're going lower. RSI, bearish trend, makes me think we're going lower. But we're soon to break out of it, so not too much lower. 4 hour time frame, looking at this now, I think that's an appropriate fib. That's completely appropriate from relative low to relative high. If we're looking at this on the RSI, oh, interesting. Kind of interesting. It's like you're breaking out. Are you breaking out of it? We need to get this more connected. Like that. You are technically broken out of it. It's okay if you do. I mean, overall, you have somewhat of a volatile RSI, but it's overall very bullish. I don't care. You probably do go lower. You know, the fact that you've broken out of that uptrend, you probably do go lower. It's a shame that we're not holding that, but that's okay. Come down to the 40, find support. That means that we don't go down too much lower. Even if we go to the oversold zone, I can't imagine that we drop too much lower. Maybe we find support again around 550 at the worst, but whether it's 550, 570, or somewhere in between, here we are at 580 now. I think we have a little bit lower to go. The stochastic suggests so. The MACD is bullish, but it allows for you to go lower. The RSI is bullish, but it allows for you to go lower. Stochastics are bearish. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to go lower. That's my thoughts for sure. I definitely believe that we do go to the downside there, that 550, 570 area. Maybe just above 570 at the very least, but 580 here, rejecting the overbought zone. Oh no. Right. But this isn't as big of a deal because it's not standalone. Even though it is like a rejection off the overbought zone, really it's a higher high. It's something to be quote unquote excited about, right? It's something productive nonetheless. Higher highs, higher lows, like it seems all right. We can come down to the 50 and bounce off of that. We can come down lower. I would like it if we didn't get a lower low than this, and I would really like it if this next attempt we actually did get into the overbought zone, which I think we will. It's the weekend. It's Sunday. Right now what we're doing and how close we are to the overbought zone. I mean, imagine we get a run like this, we get a run like this, we get a run like this, we get a run like that or that. I mean, any of these runs, we're going to be contesting this overbought area. Anything of any of these sizes when we've moved up since the 21st of October, is that when our low was? I guess I was going to say the 21st of November. Yeah, 21st of November is when we started moving up. But whatever, even these movements here should take us into the overbought zone. So I think what we're doing here is we're just loading up. We're compressing our bullish spring, and once that pressure releases, we're going to be sprung to higher prices that are probably going to take us above $700 in a very short amount of time. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We're at $580 now. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we saw prices above $700 in the next 10 days by the end of this month. With that being said, it's completely acceptable if we consolidate a little bit further, we push higher, we consolidate a little bit further, and then we get our freak on. But when we get our freak on, whenever that happens, we're going to see some explosive price action, to say the least. I want to see here from a low to a high. If we did go to the 382, that 382 is at 553, which that fits the range. We really could, by the way of this fib, it would make only sense to either bounce here or to go down to 550, 553. It would only make sense that way. Any kind of in between is less likely to happen. So I suppose it's most likely from here, 570 at least, but on this fib that just wouldn't really make sense. I would think 550 is probably the most probable outcome, to be completely fair. Prior support right there, resistance right here, resistance right there, support right there, resistance right there, support, resistance. It's a somewhat significant area. Makes sense to me. Daily time frame, looking at the RSI, we're bullish on the RSI. Stochastics are bullish, but a little bit crossed to the downside here, but still bullish overall. You're definitely, I mean, look at your stochastics are living above the 50. You're reluctant to be below the 50. You get below the 50, you come right back up immediately. It's crazy. The MACD, the fact that you cross green is nice, but what I don't like to see is the fact that now we're dying off in bullish momentum. Right? We've got the light green histogram. We need it to turn dark green. We need to keep building. We want it to build. We don't want it to be small. And if it is small, that's okay, but that just promotes consolidation, consolidation at this point is what I would think. Now I want to see us break out. Who cares what I want to see, though? Weekly time frame, if we're looking at this here, again, I think it's abundantly clear that we've broken out of this phase of consolidation here, that we're breaking out. I don't think it's so clear yet that we've broken out of this phase, but a little bit higher, guys. We're almost there with the daily RSI. We're almost in the overbought zone. We get overbought on the RSI. We'll be overbought with the stochastics. We'll be building bullish momentum on the MACD, getting away from this zero level with our oscillators, looking really healthy. Weekly time frames, same thing. They're all going to get into their overbought areas. We're going to flip green on the weekly MACD once we break this level. I mean, prices above $660, $670 leads to a breakout of this range, which will only fuel the fire of the breakout of this range that we have, this bull flag here. Let's see, where would that bull flag take us, actually? I'm kind of curious. Have we measured this before? Low to high. I'm going to take this high it's more conservative, and it's just, I think, more appropriate for this move to the low of this pattern. That would take us up to about $1,100. And again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I wouldn't be surprised if we had turbulence along the way. I very much do expect that ultimately we're going to be moving up to this, something around 3,000 to 4,000, maybe higher, something up in this all-time high area. That's my expectation personally. But it's not going to be a straight line. There might be weeks of consolidation, right? I don't know if it'll be this long. I don't think it'll be this long. Not months of consolidation, but there will be times where we find resistance, we pull back, and then we continue to rally. And this right here, our bull flag measure move, might be a good area for that. I mean, let's just see high to low here. It's right above our 1414. I mean, our next technical target, here we are at $580 now. Once we find support, wherever it is, 570, 550, whatever, we move higher. When we do break out of this range here, the next target should be anywhere from $960 to $1,400. And our bull flag measure move is right in the middle there. Measure moves are ideas. They're nothing more, they're nothing less. They're just ideas. This idea says we could go just above the 1414. Now, it's very common when interacting with the 1414 not to find resistance just at it, but to go just above it. You wick above it, you close below it. That's very common. So this bull flag measure move, it checks out to me. But it's, again, just an idea. We can fall short of that idea, and there's the 1272. We can exceed that idea, but probably not by much, right? We probably don't just blast through it or fall completely short of it, right? We probably get close enough to it, and I would think this, I feel like this area just encapsulates that perfectly. So $1,400 to $1,000 essentially. That's our target range. Probably closer to $1,400 than $1,000, if I was being honest with myself. But I would also expect that this move here that we see is dramatically faster than what we saw here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was the, I mean, at this point, dude, if we break out, if we really make a fierce move, we could be at $1,000 by the end of this month. As crazy as that might sound, it could really happen. If not, sometime in January. I mean, we'll absolutely be here at some point in January. Consolidate. Going into February, we should be moving up higher. February, March comes around, late February, maybe March, I would expect that we are up at this 2,700 to 6,700 area, something up here. I mean, it's a big range, but I don't know what we're dealing with. I don't want to be too conservative. I don't want to be overly bullish, overly optimistic, but at the same time, it's all a realistic possibility, because what we're dealing with here, guys, is unprecedented, historical, life-changing breakout that we're seeing here. For Bitcoin Cash. I don't mean life-changing for us. Maybe it's life-changing for you or for me if we're, Bitcoin Cash is our biggest bag, and it is my biggest bag. It can definitely be life-changing in that aspect. I just mean life-changing in the essence of Bitcoin Cash's life. Like what we're about to see, we're in uncharted territories. So as far as how high do we go, that's a good question. We could genuinely from here break out and stop right here, right around our all-time high area, just below it, right? Something like this. We could exceed it and see new all-time highs. I doubt that we just blast to new all-time highs and not stop. I mean, anything can happen. This is crypto. But again, this is a lifelong historical phase of consolidation that we're breaking out of now. The move that we're going to see will be epic at the very least. And from here, 580 to 2,700, that's pretty epic. In like a 1 to 3 month period, that's pretty epic. Double that, triple that, that's pretty epic too. I mean, it's completely appropriate, I think, to assume that anything in this range is possible by the end of Q1. And I say by the end of Q1, it could be by the end of January, man. I mean, if this thing wants to move fast, it can. There's a lot of pent-up aggression here. Not only have you been consolidating in this range here your whole life, but you've been consolidating here for over half a year at this point, just consolidating right here, waiting to break out. I mean, it's the most bullish setup in crypto right now, guys. This could really, I have a feeling no matter where we end, whether it's at 2,700 or 6,700, wherever it might be, we're going to be pretty okay with it. We're going to be amazed, and it's going to be very fast and loud when it does happen. It should be happening any day now. Every single day that we're below $600 is a blessing. I definitely think that 580 is a good time to buy, but with that being said, if we drop down to 560, 550, 570, that's fine. We'll come back up, and likely that next move up will take us into the overbought zone, give us those strong readings, and allow us to properly break out of this area once and for all. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.